The projection of the melody, it is pianissimo, and yet there is a hairpin. And if you've seen my work before, you know that I'm fascinated by hairpins and what did a composer mean by hairpins, because I feel like I was not given a lot of information, like most of us weren't, until we found out that, especially through the works of Brahms, and actually discovering a recounting of a rehearsal of Brahms, and then new information from Fanny Mendelssohn Hensel and others, that this did not merely mean crescendo and diminuendo. But it's possible. In some composers, if that was their intention, that's what they used it for. But in this case, even though French music is often there just for the sound and for sound's sake, it's not as rhythmically charged as a lot of Germanic music is. To me, it seems like there is a kind of inevitability of this melody making at least to the A in measure 8. And so once you start, even though there's no rushing, it's very steady. I still think there's a portion of what my teacher, Leon Fleischer, would call the secret of rhythmic playing. And that is to be as late as possible while still being in time. And I still think that's helpful even in this music. It's just so much more subtle. So whereas an example that wouldn't be subtle, for example, that pops into mind is the last movement of Beethoven's Emperor Concerto. That would be waiting as late as possible as opposed to playing square where you would go. That would be two different examples. You heard the first one, I waited as late as possible. Dee-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, right? In Satie, it's not going to be that dramatic, but we can still wait before we begin this melody if we're sort of floating in measure 3. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, I came pretty close to 2, but I would argue that I was a little bit late, just a split second. Now, if I hadn't brought that to conscious awareness, we might not have noticed. Here's what the difference would be if I'm really thinking 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. To me, that's too early. So there's a way that we can spin out these lines and keep our cantabile more compelling.